Hi, this is Cindy Herb, the Joyful Survivor. I'm back again today with my good friend Lauren Midgley, the Procrastination Coach. Let's go to another interview with her to find out what she says on how you too can overcome procrastination in your life. I'm here again with my good friend Lauren Midgley. We were talking earlier about procrastination and how it can affect our lives, not in a constructive way, but in a destructive way. So, whenever you have procrastination in your lives, the bottom line is it could cause a lot of grief and you may not have success. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And does it usually we notice it first in our personal lives, or is it something that we notice in our business lives? It can affect our financial situation. Is that correct?
Right. What happens, Cindy, it generally is in all areas of your life. It might show up initially in the personal. It will bleed over into the business side. You'll work, procrastination, lack of promotions. You're a bottleneck at work because the work can't get done. Your finances, you're not getting your taxes done, not paying bills on time. What happens is it becomes pervasive in all areas of your life. It's definitely connected.
Yes. And of course, that's what I know is everything is connected, and we don't understand that. And sometimes it takes years for that to happen. So people, they always want everything fast results, fast results. When you're trying to work with somebody, can you give us some examples of people that you've helped and about how long realistically it's taken them to get through some of these issues?
Right. It's a good question because sometimes people go with the concept of, well, I need to break a habit and it'll take 21 days. In reality, there are some habits you can break quicker, and there are some habits that are going to be much longer depending on how long you've been doing them and how ingrained they are. And I'll give you an example. I was working with a gentleman who was a job seeker, and he had some time management issues in terms of he was procrastinating on doing some of the tasks that he needed to do to look for a job. We began looking at how was he spending his time, what was he focused on, what were his priorities, and it came out that he would check his email at least 40, 50 times a day. So what would happen would be he would be looking at the email 3, 4 times an hour easily. And so with that, it was a distraction. So because what would happen is he would get an email and it might not have related to a job, but it would be, regarding the internet, regarding a link, something from a friend, and he would chew up a fair amount of time. Then he would go back to his email to look and see if he had gotten anything back from the company he was looking, to find a job for. And it was one of those things. And so the recommendation to him was, you really need to manage your time better because you're spending time doing things that you don't need to be doing right at that time, and you need to be working on things to focus on for the job. And so what we did was we suggested, and it took about a week for him to begin checking his email once an hour, and that was plenty of time to see if there was and so he was procrastinating on those things that he needed to do when he was looking at email.
And what I find is, like emails to me are somebody else's agenda. And sometimes what happens in our lives is, especially if we're trying to overcome something, is we try to gain acceptance from others. And so procrastination, do you feel like that could be a way for us to gain acceptance from others? And just like you said, checking your email,
right,
to service other people, which is fine, but do you feel like if you don't take care of what's in your life first, then you can't help anybody?
Right.
Is that right?
Absolutely. So 2 things come to mind. One is the concept of distractions, and the second is there are folks who want to please others, and I was one of those in the corporate world. I would go to meetings and I would work on everyone else's work during the day, and then I would begin my work at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But I didn't get my work done because it took longer, and so I was using other people's agendas, if you will, to do my work throughout the day. And it's one of those things that you're distracted by other people's priorities, and you are not as focused on your priorities as you need to be.
Yeah, and where I see that being the joyful survivor is that what happens is when we go through adversity that we're kind of shut down a little bit.
Yes.
And then we are looking to feel better. And so
Right.
feeling better is actually doing we're thinking that we're helping ourselves, but we're really helping other people so that we get that rush. And so do people kind of get a rush from maybe procrastination? Is that a rush for people? Can I ask you that?
Well, it can be. And sometimes, in a weird sort of way, if they have a deadline or a project coming forward, they wait till the last minute, they pull it off, they get it done, and they get the adrenaline rush that, wow, I was able to do that. And what that does is that repeats the pattern and the habit of waiting till the last minute to get something done.
Yes, and so that's what I'm talking about, because
Yep.
just like a
Yep.
drug addict gets a rush,
Right.
we do destructive things in our lives and we don't really recognize them as being destructive until we have what you call pain. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. And the pain is, let's say you wait till the last minute to do something that you owed to somebody else, that was a legitimate commitment you made to someone else. You wait till the last minute, and then you find you don't have enough time to really do a good job to complete what you needed to complete. Mm-hmm. Now your anxiety is increasing, you're feeling some pain, you think, I may be embarrassed because I'm turning in something that's half done when I really should have planned it better, and the pain and the anxiety increases.
And the thing is should anybody be embarrassed? Should anybody be embarrassed if they're having these issues? Everybody thinks that they're the only one, don't they?
Right.
But every one of us on the planet, no matter what they say, that people are in denial if they're saying they're not. But
That's exactly right.
We procrastinate in some area of our lives.
That's right.
And the question is how much does it impact us? And how much pain are we going to have? Is it going to be a little pinprick, or is the whole body shutting down?
Well, that's exactly it. And what happens, sometimes people are just so paralyzed that they have to wait till the last minute because they're not ready to work on it. And they do find that that's their mode of operation of how they do it. What happens, though, there will be a time where they will get caught and they will not be able to complete what they really need to complete. They don't need to be embarrassed, but it's one of those things that you have to resolve internally, that next time I am going to start a little bit sooner and make sure that I do a good job with it.
Of course, you know how I feel about the whole thing is that if we're not listening to, I'm very spiritual about that. If we're not listening to spirit, then we are going to get forced to change. And sometimes that happens, but we don't want to get to that point. We're trying to get to the point where we'll start doing these things on our own, recognizing these things on our own.
Absolutely.
To create success, correct?
Right. Well, and it's one of those things, why, if you're a chronic procrastinator, I will guarantee you feel bad, you feel overwhelmed, sometimes you feel paralyzed. And if that's the case, wouldn't you want a better way, a better life, and begin to figure out how can I stop doing this on a consistent basis? You can overcome it. You may not overcome it totally in your life, and that's okay. But if you overcome it on the big things that really matter to you, you're going to feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Trust me.
So Lauren is a speaker. She speaks to groups, correct?
Correct.
She gives workshops. She offers coaching. And your site is?
yourprocrastinationcoach.com, which will outline the workshops, some of my materials, and upcoming speaking events.
That is wonderful. Well, again, I so appreciate you being with us today, Lauren. Thank you for your wise advice.
Thank you, Cindy.
And to all my viewers, again, I want to wish you a great day and to take action on overcoming your procrastination and overcoming any adversity in your life. Thanks again, Lauren.
Thank you.